between at Bad Guy Wrestling and at Channel Cortez 33. This is Shoots and Swerves, AEW Dynamite. I was going to say Dynamite. I've been so Dynamite.
Yeah.
Dynamite review. No, AEW Dynasty 2024 review took place tonight, April 22nd. It is now April 20. It was April 21st. Now it's April 22nd because it's about 12:31 in the morning. And we are just coming hot off the heels of this pay-per-view. Jonathan, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah.
There was a lot of matches tonight, and it was pretty packed.
Hell yeah. It was pretty packed. And on right off the bat, just tell you, the crowd was into it. The crowd was into it. AEW looked good tonight.
Yeah.
AEW looked really sharp tonight. Okay.
It looked like a full arena.
See, and I feel like I want you to give me a lot of feedback on your reactions throughout the night. I want to really quick give you obviously if you haven't known, just the last couple weeks with AEW has been just so kind of miserable with just the moves that they had made. Tony Khan releasing that video of CM Punk.
Yeah.
And trying to tie it to a storyline related back to the Young Bucks and FTR, and which it did not go over well. It did not work because it was totally not natural. That's not good. That's not a good thing when they try to do that. The last thing you want. But I will say that it was great to see Jack Perry show up, and they just have to use him. Like they have to keep him as a heel. This is going to be fun to watch. This is going to be some fun stuff to watch.
I don't even know why. Is he in trouble? Is Jack?
He's in trouble. Yes. Well, he's not in trouble. He's not going to be in trouble with AEW. Clearly, he's back on. But he was borderline just blacklisted from what seemed like in terms of whether or not in terms of just how is he going to, I guess, make this work? But it's pretty simple, really. Just, bring him in as a heel and keep him. He's so hot as a heel right now. If he was to, just come out and start doing it, that's the problem. Is he was working in New Japan this past several months, and then he was recently in a New Japan event that took place in Chicago. Where he flicked off the crowd. And so he's hated by a lot of fans, Chicago particularly, and a lot of fans for that matter. So you got to use it, And this storyline was almost like go away heat. Yeah, that's not good. So, but he did the right thing tonight. So
yeah. So they just shipped him off to New Japan.
Yeah.
And then they were like, all right, you can come back now.
Yeah, you're ready to come back. We need you back. And they do. I mean, he's not like a needle turner, needle pusher, what you want to call it, but he's definitely going to be utilized well. If they do it right, he's going to be utilized well, and they will it'll work. But
the most I've ever cared about him.
I've cared about it, and we cared about him during All In, when he was fighting Jack Perry. Hook. His new gimmick was starting to grow on us.
Mm-hmm.
Just this kind of, I'm a Hollywood baby. I'm the exact opposite of a Jungle Boy. I'm not down to earth. I am up in the stars.
Oh yeah,
it's perfect.
I forgot about that part of it, that he was the Hollywood baby.
Yeah.
It's been a while since he's been on TV.
It really is important to remember that it really is who he is. And, it's not hard. He kind of looks like now, and he reminds me, this is not good either. He looks like Hyde from that 70s show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With the hair.
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he has a very bad rap. Okay. He's completely blacklisted from Hollywood. He is as canceled as it gets.
Yeah.
And he kind of reminds me of that in that look, with his look right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But Jack Perry isn't, whatever. He hasn't done anything. As far as I'm concerned, like he didn't do anything wrong. We can get back into that, but yeah, he needs to push this as hard as he can, because if he does, it's gold. It's gold.
I mean, maybe this was the work afterwards. So the fight was real, but then
Yeah.
Tony Khan releasing the footage and stuff. What if it
Oh,
was
yeah.
just a work, the whole
It-
thing?
it-
Make
it-
him look like a fool.
Yeah, I mean that is a good point. Like I think that Tony Khan is probably smarter than we think, than most people think. Okay,
Yeah,
he may be a mark, but he's not like a dumb mark.
Super Mark.
We're all marks, but he is.
He's Mark Summers.
He's a mark with money, really, and he's a mark with numbers.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So, that's the big story for me, as well as two other things. One, Will Ospreay, okay, decimating Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to post a headline like, Bryan Danielson injured. I don't. So you're right off the bat. I'm going to tell you, I don't think he was injured. It looked good, and he sold it like a champ, like amazing. Like he sold it like it was real. Like, but I just looking at the bump, it did not look like he was injured. And I obviously hope to God he's not injured. But yeah, no, I don't think he was injured.
Yeah, I mean, if he's actually injured, then wow. Where was the medical people coming out or something, or the trainers, are they the medical people or something?
Fake medical people, like maybe real medical people, but either way, they were not like really doing anything. And then clearly the ref wouldn't have told Will Ospreay to no, you can go on. And then Will was like, oh, okay, and then get back on the corner and like he wouldn't have done that. He wouldn't have done that. It would have been X's, and it would have been he would have like definitely have pretty much stayed with the guy, and he would have been walked out on a stretcher. There's just no way. Now, it's not to say that he's not going to feel some serious bumps in the morning, but he was not injured.
Yeah, maybe he had a stinger or something.
He got a stinger, maybe. I'll give him that, but he was not just like injured, like they kind of like he was selling.
I mean, maybe it was just so Bryan can go away for a while. Like maybe he is injured, but he needs to heal from something or get surgery.
So based on what we're seeing, this is a chance for Will Ospreay to really show sympathy to Bryan Danielson. I'm always going to say it, but Bryan Danielson, and kind of check up on him and be like, show him respect. Meanwhile, the rest of the Don Callis family are going to be like, we're going to war with the Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
And
it's another Garcia, Daniel Bryanson angle.
Yeah. Ospreay is going to be like, nah, I don't need to do that. I'm not about that. I'm not trying to do that. What are you guys doing? And that's going to lead to him splitting up with the Don Callis family and becoming a face. I mean, he's a face.
He really is a face.
Right? Yeah, he really is a face. Like, he's a good face. He sounds like a heel, but he's a face.
Yeah.
And that's going to be good. So I don't know if you know this. I mean, and it's okay if you don't. But it was obviously shown last Dynamite. Jon Moxley is the new IWGP champion.
Yep.
I
saw the headline. Obviously, didn't watch it or anything like that.
So I need to go back and watch it. But here's the problem with it. Like, I have to check. I'm so all over the place after coming out of WrestleMania. The show was a New Japan Strong show, meaning that you probably had to pay extra and on top of your New Japan World account. I don't do that.
It's like a pay-per-view.
It's a pay-per-view, and it's a cheaper pay-per-view, but some of them are pretty, like, they go up to like $20, $30, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I might at least do it for this particular one because it was a good one, but I don't do that normally. I don't watch Strong.
Yeah. I
don't. It's like
they got to pay Moxley somehow, Chris.
But they definitely paid him well, and I don't think that it was. I'm okay. Look, I'm kind of torn because Jon Moxley, love Jon Moxley. He definitely deserves it. But as far as the storylines, the way things are going in New Japan, Naito has only held the title for maybe 4 months, 4 or 5 months. Not bad, but not really the run that I was like expecting. I was expecting him to go at least well into the summer or even to the next year, and because this was going to be his last real title run.
Right.
So, and for him to lose it to Mox, okay. And I, like I said, love Jon Moxley. He's the only man to now hold the AEW New Japan title and WWE title ever.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's kind of a big deal because that title, that IWGP title is got a lot of history. It's not no joke. It's old. It's decades old. Yeah. Oh, I'm totally marking, but I can't, not mark out to that. I mean, look at me. Look at me for crying out loud.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're all marks. And I'm a mark for New Japan. You know this.
Oh yeah.
That is my marked mark.
You're Marky Mark
and the Funky Bunch for that fucking part of my French. But anyways.
Oh, I believe.
So speaking of Bo Dallas, he's coming back at one point.
Oh yeah, I mean they started introducing like the Uncle Howdy kind of stuff in there.
It's coming back, yeah. At the end of that documentary, that's when I started seeing it. Then the other one, so we covered that, and then of course, Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm happy. I'm loving it. What do you think?
There's one other match that I'm really happy about.
Well, the Young Bucks.
As a bad guy wrestling.
Right.
Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, yes. Jeez, thank you.
Jericho Hulk for the FTW championship.
So you're gonna help me out with all that? Yes. Mm-hmm. Because I was kind of all over the place, tinkering around with Riverside, but I was watching it and I got on the phone with someone talking about colleges with my nephew's my niece's graduations and shit like that. I'm trying to keep everything together, but at the same time watch this damn show. But I did enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Man, he's basically knocked him out with a bat and
yes,
the best. The best is when he's holding the title. It's like he's won. It's like he didn't mean. He's like, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Okay, and I loved it. I couldn't. I just popped when I saw the his name, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho.
That was the best part. That's the new gimmick that he's created.
The Learning Tree,
Lionheart, but
he is the Learning Tree. Yes, he is the Learning Tree now. He's been a wizard.
This happens. I mean, it's like the good guy wins or whatever. The youngin, but in this one, they're just like, "Fuck you."
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Every time you think this guy is done, he comes back with some more shit to just entertain us. I
had this thought. He's like the next generation of Flair. He's going to be wrestling until he's 80 something as well. And
hey man,
he loves it.
People will hey, as long as he can do it and entertain me, I'm always going to be cool with it. I'm never going to say I don't care. If you,
that was not a negative comment.
No, I know, but people might take that as a negative. People might think that as a negative, like, oh man, he needs to retire already. Really? Well, it's the day he stops putting asses in seats is the day he can stop. He can retire.
Yeah,
people need to learn that. And I don't know what the hell people are talking about when they say that.
Yeah, this guy's killing it still. He's not the world title holder, but he's Chris Jericho.
Now he's the FTW title holder. He's the fuck the world title holder. He's the Learning Tree now. And he's a wizard. He might even change his name from the Ocho to the Nueve since he's now freaking the FTW champion.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. He's gonna start seeing some random shit, and I love it. And he's gonna put it on t-shirts and sell it.
Oh yeah. When he goes heel, he goes all out.
He does. He really does. And I love it. I love the it's good stuff, So let's get down to business. Let's take a look at this card, because I told you we're on the when we were texting, I was like, okay, I'm starting to check out some of the the pre-show, you know, the 0 hour. I saw a little bit of Matt Sydal versus Trent Beretta. You know, I saw. I didn't watch too much of it though, because one, Darren and I started watching. You know, I was like, we don't have to watch all of this. This was that match wasn't really doing much for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was a
you know,
pre-show.
Trent Beretta defeating Matt Sydal. So I was like, let's watch something before I go to the computer and start watching. We started watching this show called Reindeer Baby. It's on Netflix and pretty cool. Check it out.
Okay.
You might like it. The other one, well, I got to check out this other one. But the other thing that I was been doing, just, you know, before we get into it, was I have been playing, and I haven't been playing video games in a long time, but I got to talk about this game real quick with you. The Fractured But Whole. South Park.
The South Park game. Yeah.
It's pretty old. It's several years old, but now it's like free available on the PlayStation Plus accounts. Like you can just get it for free.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, this game was so much fun. JRPG, turn-based game with some point and click and open world. But this game is just a South Park season. It will make you die laughing all the way through. So it's just, I've never been more invested in. I haven't been this invested in a video game probably since like when I was playing like Days Gone and The Last of Us and Uncharted and Dark Souls, obviously. But I just haven't been that invested where I'm like, I got to go back to this game like right now. Yeah. I love it. I enjoy it so much. But anyways, that's what I've been doing today leading up to this pay-per-view. That's all the reason why I mentioned it. But so we stopped with the pre-match card, but I did see that, you know, Orange Cassidy and Katsuyori Shibata defeated Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Yep. Shibata's been like took beatings from Danielson and Ospreay, yep. And it kind of let me one up you, like whatever you can do, I can do kind of thing for the build. And then the trios titles being unified. Thank God. Yeah. The Ring of Honor trios titles and the AEW trios titles. God, thank God they're going to be just unified. And the Bullet Club Gold defeated the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. I don't know how you feel about that, but
moment of silence.
Yeah,
you know, just
moment of silence for Daddy Ass.
I never got him to scissor me.
Yeah. Well, you can't do scissor. Yeah, especially with the loss of those titles. I mean, I don't know how great a scissoring is going to be.
I mean, I'll still take it, but yeah, I think you have a point about them.
Yeah. So let's start off the top. Kazuchika Okada versus Pac AEW Continental Championship. Your thoughts?
Oh well, so you know, at the start of the pay-per-view here, going in there. You know, I've seen Okada a few times with you specifically.
Yep.
You know, even live shows, stuff like that. But he looks that damn good. He is really that good. So I don't watch, you know, New Japan very much, obviously. And
right.
It was just a matter of time. I was just waiting for the beatdown on Pac or whatever he is. I almost called him Neville. And and like, you know, I mean, yeah, he looks awesome. He really does.
I love it. Yeah, I will say the match I felt like didn't really take it to fifth gear, but it was the first match. It was good, but it was like they clearly weren't planning to give them that much time. But like you said, he has this approach to wrestling now that he has not always been doing. He was doing in New Japan last year. He's been building up to be a heel since he was in New Japan. He wasn't a full-blown heel there, but he was like, it's his tactics. He likes to get wrestlers outside of the ring, hit them with DDTs and do that neck breaker, and then he just hits you with the lariats. He's a beast at doing it, and it's a pleasure to watch every single time he does it. Yeah. Because, like you said, you're waiting to see him just beat the shit out of Neville and Pac. And Pac's not a, you know, he's no pushover. The guy's a beast, but that is how good Okada is.
Yeah,
Like
I mean, he pretty much looked like a future title holder, not
Yeah.
like a continental one, but like the main title.
he will be the band. He will be the AEW champion sooner or later. Like probably sooner than later. Yeah, because he does somehow manage to make everyone look like they're beneath him, even if they're not. Like Pac's amazing, but like, and he's a beast. Like I said, like he's
6'5" or something.
But Okada, yeah, he's like what 6'5", 6". He's a
It's
tall.
big.
He's a big dude. Like
Yeah,
he's a
like a kind of even bulkier Randy Orton. He's like Randy Orton
Yeah.
like years ago when he was a little bigger.
yeah, he's a bulky dude.
Mhm.
That is a perfect comparison. Is a bulkier when Orton was bulkier, and can hit the perfect drop kick just like Orton. Can do certain moves that are just always look good, like look like they're sick. And he's like, yeah, this guy's a killer. And that's what he did to Neville. And I like that. I really did enjoy that. And I like how Taz was kind of selling on like him working the neck. And I'm like, yeah, get ready to see more of that because that's really what he does in the ring now. This is my favorite Okada too.
Mhm.
This is what's funny because I wasn't into Okada. Okada is the John Cena of the New Japan.
Is
Okay.
it? Because this guy looks like he's like one step away from Yakuza or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And he's like he's like John Cena. I feel like he got better with slowing things like over time. He's gotten better. And he's not so much like super Okada or super Cena. Like he where it was like this guy's never going to lose, but he does lose sometimes. But now he's in AEW. He's not losing. You won't see him lose anytime soon. Mm-mm. Yeah, probably won't even. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes all the way to win the AEW title, then drops it. But the guy is working. The guy's working. The guy's money. Okay, yeah. So, very happy with that match. Always looking forward to seeing more of that. Then you got the House of Black, okay, versus Adam Copeland, Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston. I mean, wasn't paying too much attention to it. I wasn't surprised that House of Black won.
Yeah, you put the reject team together.
It's like a it's a fucking ragtag team.
The rest of them.
It's the fucking little rascals again.
He's very entertaining.
I love Briscoe. Oh God,
I'm
all these guys are so amazing.
Yeah,
but they're just they're clunked together like a jigsaw puzzle. What do you expect? They've never teamed before.
Yeah,
against the House of Black. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Exactly. Like, what do you expect? I want to see Malachi Black versus Edge. That's what I want to see versus Adam Copeland. Like, just do it already. Like, I want to. They don't. Dude, I don't know what it is, but Malachi Black for the last few years now has not had a singles run.
Yeah.
That's like criminal, in my opinion.
And they're not really giving him that much storyline either.
No storyline, no build, no investment. Even though the guy is like the biggest badass, there was a time when they were pushing this guy so hard. He even like beat the crap out of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Like, where is that Malachi Black? And I hope that's what we're going. Like, give me an Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black. I like Brody King, but he's great, but he's not Malachi Black. Malachi Black is clearly the guy. He's like the one with the personality, and he's got the promo skills. And Murphy was Buddy Matthews. Obviously he's like amazing, but that's not.
But he's the third guy. I mean,
he's the third guy. He's like this. He's the smaller assassin, and he's not the promo. Brody King is the muscle, is the bulk, but again, no promo. Malachi Black has it all. Like,
yeah,
he's a beast. I love Mark Briscoe. God, I miss Jay White. I've been going back to the promos, man. If you go back to the promos, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I don't care. Go back to the promos, watching Briscoe's old ROH Briscoe pro. Just type it in YouTube, Briscoe promos, and you will get some of the greatest promos you will ever see. Okay. in the backwoods of like just fucking I don't even know, like upstate New Jersey or upstate New York.
Jamerson's uncle's
Exactly.
field
Like
party.
just like just backwoods, and these guys will be like smoking blunts and talking about like who the hell they're going to beat the crap out of. And what's so amazing is that you believe them. Like they're bulked out. They work in the ring. They look like they'll kill somebody. And here they are doing promos, smoking blunts, and like riding in on tractors and crazy shit. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like, how did they let, how, you know, I don't know how they got missed. Or like, you know what I mean? Like they had their moments. Obviously they had their times, but it's just like, oh my God, these guys could have been like, imagine these guys in the Attitude Era. These guys would have been like,
oh yeah,
on another level.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect time for them.
Perfect time for them. They were like, and not only that, because they can work, but like they work better than most people.
They would have been in ECW for sure.
Oh my God, they would have been perfect for ECW. They would have been amazing in ECW. So yeah, but a man. And Kingston, now he doesn't have his title, so I don't know what to say. But
it's almost like they never know what to do with him. They give him a big run, but I mean they are pairing him with Edge, so that's a pretty big deal. So maybe.
So clearly, he doesn't have anything going right now. Like clearly, nothing really that strong, but they will get something for him. I loved him in New Japan. I loved when he came back. I loved like his match with like Bryan Danielson, his work in that little Continental Classic. I mean, they've given him some stuff, but I could see him have a like a run with. I mean, he needs to kind of get involved with. He should get involved with like Blackpool Combat Club. I just don't see the ties like that much tie to Copeland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
they could feud, I guess.
I'd like, I do see a connection. I mean, I think Briscoe and Kingston might make a good tag team. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, let's look at TBS Championship. Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
Gimmick aside for Julia Hart, I mean, if the gimmick wasn't there, this is obviously the outcome of the match. I mean, Willow Nightingale destroys her, but since this is wrestling and everything, I was a little bit surprised. I kind of thought Julia Hart is still so big that they would, keep the belt on her, but. Yeah, I don't hate it. This could be cool.
Only reason I was too surprised, they're trying to set up the match between Nightingale and Mercedes Moné. That's what is going on. And I swear that build was more. It was more about Mercedes Moné and Nightingale than it was about anything else. It was Mercedes Moné feuding with Julia Hart or feuding with Nightingale. So it's just like whoever this person wins is going to be feuding. And it made more sense for Nightingale since they have a history. Since Nightingale actually defeated Moné for that New Japan Women's title.
But
that's
did
all.
It ever have to be for a title? I mean, that storyline was there.
True. Already. You're absolutely right. It could have been, and that's the thing. Like they could have done something where Moné tries to help, somehow botches something, and Nightingale loses the Hart, leading to a grudge match, and then keep the title on Julia Hart.
Yeah,
I think Moné is bigger than the TBS title. She doesn't need it.
Well, I think Moné is bigger, and then you have Julia Hart's probably bigger than it at this point.
Yeah,
but the person who isn't bigger than it is Willow Nightingale. So maybe putting the title on her makes her a bigger threat. Like gives
that makes sense.
Some actual.
There you go.
Credibility. We'll say.
So there's that. Yes. I love Julia Hart though. I love watching her. I think she's got the look.
How, like that gimmick morphed over time and became so good.
I liked it from the beginning, but I just didn't know how far they were going to take it. And the farther they took it, the more I liked it. I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
the
Yeah,
look.
first she came out and she had that red heart or something right here, and like
Hmm.
it wasn't bad, but I was skeptical. I was like, oh, I could see this becoming corny so fast.
Hmm.
But then it kind of got darker and darker, and uh, it's one of the better parts of the show. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still another House of Black type of thing.
I always stop and watch Julia Hart's like she can move, she can go, she can move in the ring, and she's got the look, she's got the gimmick. That's all you need, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and I look forward to seeing Nightingale and Mercedes Moné just to see what they can really do and to see where they take it. But I'm more interested in Julia Hart. Still, I still want. I wouldn't mind seeing her beat the crap out of you know, Tony Storm. Like I'm sorry, I'm still not. I don't know what it is. I'm not. We'll talk about Tony Storm, with her match, but I'm not sold on it. I think it's funny to a certain extent. I like it to a certain extent, but I'm like not all over it. Like some people are like just marking out for it.
Marky Mark.
Just marking it over it. Or Mark Wahlberging all over that shit. They love it.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's I go back and forth from being like, oh, this is hysterical to this is terrible. Like back and forth.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that like unless you watch her unless you watch all her stuff, you can't necessarily catch the good stuff. Like I've seen certain stuff and I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. Like I get that. Like that's good. But then like most of it's just like I'm like zoning out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so because all she is some Marilyn Monroe, wannabe at the end of the day.
I think her best stuff has been more recently, like the last couple months.
Good.
So.
Yeah.
But I think most people have kind of like been like, no, already. They're already like, I'm not buying this. So
yeah.
She has been able to develop the character a little better, so it's not so awkward. But
yeah,
it took a long time.
Yeah. Roderick Strong versus Kyle O'Reilly. What did you think of this match? International Championship.
It's fine. I mean, I still find myself not really caring about
because it was mostly just a match, two guys that can go, but no real build, not much of a build.
I mean, Kyle O'Reilly, that's fine. I didn't even care when they had their tag team going with Bobby Fish or whatever his name was.
Yeah, it was Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish with Roderick Strong sometimes coming up.
I mean, and it just, I don't know. I just never really.
I love Undisputed Era. I love them. I loved it when Strong was like the North American champ. You had Adam Cole as the NXT champ. O'Reilly and Fish as the tag champs in NXT. They just had all the gold, all the male gold. But like, there's nothing. This is so cold that that's why you don't care. And the problem is, where the fuck is Adam Cole? Like, he's nowhere in sight. Like, he should have been coming in at some point and being like, he could have pulled a Bret Hart. You know what I mean? And like with Owen versus British Bulldog, he could have came in and been like, you guys shouldn't be fighting. You guys should be friends. Let's reform this thing already. Or Bobby Fish could have showed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If that would have happened, that would have actually like created a story, because it's cold. Like, it was okay. It went from Adam Cole basically being like the biggest heel in AEW after, causing MJF to lose the title, to him being non-existent. And now his people that are related to him are even like not making much of it. So what the hell's happening?
Yeah, it's definitely, that injury was definitely bad timing, but I don't know why they just decided to not even have like video packages or something of him.
Yeah, like he's not even there. There's no way that he can't like show up and at least like, he should be pulling promo work like all day. Like he should be there, like basically there was a time when like I mean, I'll keep going back. Of course, you know, he's like my favorite wrestler, but there were times, obviously, CM Punk. Well, I was going to say Bret the Hitman Hart, but even Punk did it too. And we remember me and you going to a Raw, and when Punk was champion for those, you know, the 400 plus days, right? But there was a time during those 400 plus days where he was injured, and he came out in a wheelchair and he's doing his promos, and we were still excited to see this guy. We didn't give a fuck if he was wrestling or not. We just wanted to see him and say some shit.
Yeah,
and we loved it. Same with Bret Hart. When Bret Hart was the leader of the Hart Foundation, the dude literally could come out with a wheelchair and like 5 to 4 dudes surrounding him, and he'd be like talking shit. It was awesome. It was awesome. Didn't matter. He didn't need to wrestle.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and it just makes me think. I know we're talking AEW, but I was, I don't know if you knew about it, but Rhea Ripley vacated the title.
Yep, injury.
I am not happy with that. I'm, you know what I'm saying? I am so sick of like times when they do that. I don't care if she can't wrestle. Like, let her come out with a sling and just talk shit with her title. Nobody deserves the title, so nobody should take that title. Title shouldn't be vacated. You know what I'm saying?
She can still entertain for sure.
She can still entertain me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let all the other women continue to fight over the number one contendership, and they could be like, okay, they could be like, call themselves the number one contender and be like, I am the number one contender and I'm not going to lose. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just the champ until you come in the ring and make it fun. But don't take her title away. Just don't. Because like now she's going to come back. She's going to win the title, but then it restarts it. Like the reign is like restarted. That's the beauty thing about wrestling, is that as long as you're entertaining me, your reign still exists.
Yeah.
People were like, oh, Roman Reigns only wrestled 52 matches. Yeah, but every single match was definitive and live, and he managed to keep our attention for 4 years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, don't take that shit away from him.
Yeah,
nobody else could have done that.
The fact that he could wrestle like once every like 2 months, it speaks wonders.
Exactly. That's what they don't understand, is that they think that that's not good. It's like, no, that says something, because there was a time when you couldn't do that at all.
No.
And people would be like, are you kidding me? We need a new champion. Whereas you got a nice little tail there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we are like, oh, just keep the title on him and all is right. All is right with the world as long as he is champion.
Yeah.
But yeah, same. I'm telling you, Ripley shouldn't have lost the title. But anyways, shouldn't have vacated the title. So we got Jericho. Speaking of titles, the FTW Championship. Chris Jericho defeating Hook. I mean, fun little match.
An awkward build to it. Like this whole story kind of.
I'm glad. Yeah.
And everything, but this moment,
I'm so glad he won.
Built this. It worked.
Yeah,
it worked so well.
I was watching this build. I was enjoying it, and I was wondering where they were going with it. I didn't know. I mean, I didn't think about it. I was like, but because I mean, Hook got the first win, but so that should have given us a clue as to who was going to win this one. But obviously, I never think that Hook's going to lose. Yeah. They just don't book him to lose. Well, now they booked his ass to lose. So now they have given him something. He's still in a segment with Jericho. He's going to chase after that title.
Didn't he lose to Samoa Joe? Yeah.
Yeah. He. But I'm saying he does not lose often. Like, he's lost to Joe. He's lost to Jericho. Yeah, I think he may have
the top guys.
He only loses to the top guys. He may have lost to like maybe one more person, but yeah. That other than that, that's it. And so now he's going to be chasing after the title, which is fine. That's cool. I'm hoping that Taz gets more involved.
Yeah,
I want to see more Taz involved.
They should become a heel duo.
Yeah,
a bad guy wrestling.
Yeah, that would be great if Taz was sided with Jericho and was like, you gotta follow the listening tree.
You gotta respect your elders, son.
You gotta respect your elders, okay? I told you.
Yeah. Or it would be hysterical if Taz is doing commentary, you know, a lot more interference and things like that.
Oh, I love that. I loved
Back
it.
in the day.
Now you got me thinking about it.
Hmm.
I loved it when he was in the Aces and Eights as basically their commentator. That was gold
Yeah.
because that's clever because all those years with the NWO, there was never an NWO commentator
Yeah. I mean,
who was basically
for like 5
they
minutes.
needed that. Oh yeah, Bischoff was, but then eventually he got taken off. But like that's what they needed, honestly. Now that I think about it, the commentating team was so pro WCW that it was almost like cheesy. It was almost like kind of like I'm trying to think, just lackluster because everybody's cheering on the NWO.
Hmm.
So like you kind of have to acknowledge that, and they needed an NWO commentator to kind of talk about how great everything's working out to basically telling the WCW commentators to shut up.
Yeah. And like explain like how the NWO is working
Exactly.
and all that stuff. It
Yeah.
carries the storyline around.
Could have built up the storyline. Could have built more of the lore. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's just
So-
in there like making up stuff as he goes, and it's like adding all this detail to the NWO.
Yeah. Amazing. You know. So I am going to take a sip of this. By the way, if you've ever had it, Maui Brewing Company. This is OMG IPA. You can't get this anywhere unless you order it. So I ordered it. I went to my local craft wine and beer store, and
Yeah.
they hook it up. But this is top notch. 7.0 alcohol content, delicious. When I say delicious, like hints of citrus and deliciousness. Yeah.
So delicious.
Yeah.
So citrus.
Hey, I got to reach out to the people in YouTube land. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe at Channel Cortez 33 and at Bad Guy Wrestling. Okay, this is the collaboration, the greatest collaboration in all of the IWC. This is Shoots and Swerves. You're at Bad Guy Wrestling's got 2 N's. I got to fix that. Or did you? You got to fix. Well, so it's only 1 N. But,
Only
yes,
one N.
only one.
This is the test to see
This
if
is
you
just
can
the
really
test.
add my account.
Exactly. Okay, so let's keep going. Let's keep going with AEW's Women's World Championship Timeless Tony Storm defeating Thunder Rosa. What do you think, Jonathan?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it because, I mean, Thunder Rosa was the title holder, or was she? Yeah, she was definitely title holder when she got injured.
Absolutely.
Vacated
That's great.
it. But I don't know. I don't feel like she's been back long enough for me to care.
No, but I think it's great. I see where you're going with that. Like this kind of more so, gives credit to Tony Storm as the champ, defeating the person that never lost it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I mean, I would have kept them apart for longer, and then maybe another month or 2.
Yeah.
And then brought it back in, and then had Tony Storm drop the title to her. That's what I would have done.
See, I would have kept them away for a little bit, but I honestly, even though I'm not like the biggest fan of Tony Storm, I like that she beat the champ, in the people's eyes, because it credits her reign. It signifies it. It gives it legitimacy. Legitimizes her reign, because if she loses, Jonathan, then Storm's whole reign was pretty much worth nothing. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
I don't like that. This is why I can't stand that Rhea Ripley had to drop the title, because whoever wins that title is just holding it for Rhea Ripley. Yeah. Whoever wins that title is just a transitional champ for Rhea Ripley.
And you never know what could happen. Who gets hot or whatever.
Like, You're right.
There's no
I'm thinking
that they ever get back to it.
What's up?
There's no guarantee that they get back to Rhea Ripley.
So here's and on that note, if that happened, I mean, like I could see someone like a Tiffany Stratton, right, win the title, then eventually Ripley comes back and somehow messes it up and loses, so it does legitimize her reign. Yep. But then down the road, Rhea Ripley comes back and wins the title. She's going to win that title back.
Yep.
The fans love her. She's probably going to become a face and probably distance herself from the Judgment Day,
Yeah.
which I don't like, but that's why it was going to happen.
Yeah, I could
So,
see that.
Yeah,
She only joins them in key moments or something.
Right, man. And as far as the Judgment Day is pretty damn white hot right now, as far as I'm concerned. They're like right where they need to be.
Oh yeah, they're finally like the legit stable that's like running Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, they are running Raw, and they are legitimate stable. Yeah, right up there.
Even Dominic is like not as much of a joke anymore.
Yeah, I think I've always liked. I mean, down obviously like the beginning, it was kind of hard to watch him, but yeah, for the last like couple years, Dirty Dom, man, he can work.
I love Dirty Dom.
He can work. He's not like
character.
He's a great character, and he's great. He's very entertaining, and he's getting better. He just keeps getting better.
Yeah. He only really needs to get a little bit better just to be like average in the WWE.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gotten there. I mean, I foresee him winning tag titles. I'm thinking with JD McDonough, aka the Dirty D's. The name that's patent right pending, right?
Yep.
The Dirty D's, Raw tag team champions.
Oh yeah. Or they just he becomes like a cruiserweight guy because Mysterio isn't small. I mean, he's kind of scrawny still, but not.
He's kind of thin, but yeah, he's not small.
No, he'd be big. He'd be pretty big.
Yeah, that's why I could see him working tag team match, and then like Finn Balor wouldn't get another run with the Intercontinental title, and Damian Priest having the title. All of them have the titles, but pisses me off that Rhea Ripley's not there because now that kind of messes that up. But yeah, I think
hard work.
Balor needs something, and all he can do really is the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, I'd be down with that. That'd be. Yeah, he could beat Sami Zayn. Man.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're trying to push for this feud with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn and Gable. A lot of people are talking about Gable winning the title. I don't really necessarily see that, but it obviously can happen. But like what I was thinking was that Balor was going to be the one to beat Zayn, and then Gable was going to defeat Balor, and that Gable was going to remain a face. I don't see him as I feel like he's a good heel. Oh, sorry, a good face. Sorry, good. He's a good face. Like, So I don't think it was a great idea to switch him just because he was pissed off about the title, about not like getting the chance to win the title. Don't think it was that great of an idea.
Yeah, but
whatever. Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson. They build it. Okay, so I wrote this down in my notes. They come out. This match, the following contest, is an absolute dream match. So forget about like anything that Now they're just blatantly telling you that we live for these dream matches with no builds, but there was some build to it. It is a dream match. I like how Bryan Danielson comes out ranked as number 4 in the men's division.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And it was fun to watch. They did everything they needed to do. If I was to give it a grade, if I was to give it a Dave Meltzer grade, I would not give it the 6 stars. Okay. I would probably give it like, in Meltzer's eyes, I'd probably give it like 4.5 to 5 stars. In everybody else's view, I would say it was probably a 4-star, 4.5 star match. It was a good match. Like it did everything it needed to do. It was pretty awesome in the end. It definitely got into 5th gear. What about you, Jonathan?
From my perspective was a lot because just kind of like Okada, I've seen him. I haven't seen him that much.
Yeah.
I know he's supposed to be a big deal, but this match was great in displaying why this guy is legit.
Yeah.
And why this guy is probably going to be a world champion sooner than later.
Yeah, he's going to be a world champion. I mean, and yes, that is great for someone who doesn't get to always see them. They and better than someone that has been watching these wrestlers is that you become desensitized to this stuff. Like everything that Ospreay did, was very good and pretty amazing. Whether you've seen him or not. Like some people just got so used to seeing it. It's like we're spoiled. But I loved the moment when Ospreay was going for his Oz cutter, okay, is what they call it, and he got hit with that Buseko knee, if I'm not mistaken, in the air. That was a cool spot, and just they did take it to that fifth level. They're doing things that like you wouldn't normally see between two guys unless they were guys like Danielson and Ospreay. It was really incredible. So I was very happy.
Like a gymnast.
Yeah, these guys are like going full speed gymnast, and yes, they are like gymnasts. But they are risk takers. I was very impressed. And that last, what it looked like was he was going to do a Stormbreaker, but it really just kind of turned into like a power bomb.
Yeah.
It was wild to look at when he dropped Danielson on his neck.
I'd say like the flow of the match was good too. I mean,
yeah,
the beginning with Danielson kind of being the vet here, and then really that second act was like Ospreay really showing off, really showing like how good he really is.
Yeah.
And then you get the the typical like kind of like fall where like the vet comes back and like he's in control, and then the young buck has to like really rise to the occasion, and like so it was great. It was great in that aspect. It was riveting, and you just kept knowing that Danielson is that good that he's going to keep coming back.
Yeah, I do think he's going to come back. He's going to be back sooner or later because I do know that this, we know this is not forever. I mean, he's running out of time. He's got maybe a couple more, like a year or two more. I don't see him leaving anytime soon because of how well he performs. But for how long can he do this? We don't know. So there are a few matches that I think he has on his belt, that just a few more on his bucket list that he probably needs to go through. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at this card that from Cage Side Seats, and they wrote down the AEW World Championship match, Shane Strickland.
Shane Strickland.
That is terrible. Come on now. But anyways, yeah. But
Shane's house.
I was like, I wonder if we could see we probably will see a Danielson versus Swerve Strickland or an Ospreay. We'll see, but there's so many possibilities. And yes, Ospreay is that damn good. He is considered by many as the best pro wrestler, bell to bell, pound for pound, best wrestler in the ring. And I don't dispute it. So, but I mean, Danielson's probably right up there with him. But yeah, Ospreay's that guy. So to watch him do what he does is pretty amazing. There are a few guys that I'm going to, keep an eye out for. And I look forward to, I want to see Ospreay versus Moxley. Because, they had a triple threat match with Moxley, Ospreay, and David Finlay, where Finlay won the match. And I want to see that, like I could see Moxley dropping that title to Finlay, like that IWGP title. But I definitely want to see Ospreay and they work well together. They do. They work really well together because Moxley, as is a brawler. He's, grappler, and he's a brutalist, and he's basically a hardcore wrestler. He stops Ospreay in his tracks.
Yeah,
every time Ospreay tries to take it up to to 100, he'll knock him down and just be like, yeah, no, you can't do that shit around me.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool to watch. So plenty of great matches to look forward to with Ospreay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah. Get some storylines in there. but that's kind of like where we are with AEW. They are kind of like, they're all about their ranking systems and they're all about their setting up their dream matches, which I get it. It's basically the American version of New Japan. I get it. That's in a lot of ways that's what it is. But when they get some good storylines, they do really well. I mean, we've seen it with MJF, like in everything that he does, and Jericho.
But they're targeting the marky marks.
They're targeting the marky marks.
There's just not as many of those as general wrestling fans.
That's not, yeah, exactly. To the casual,
it's just they cater to who watches them, I guess.
Yeah, and we know. I was looking at some stuff on Twitter and stuff in the Forbes mag. AEW is doing pretty damn good. As far as their profits, they're doing good. Like, they're not going anywhere.
That's good.
Yeah, I know they've had a few bad weeks, but I mean, if you can't just base it off this last month, because if you look at it, the month before was one of their greatest months.
Yeah, I mean, it was WrestleMania month. It's no shame in having your viewership go down, especially when you have a collision the same night as night one.
Right. I mean, so they've done really well, and it's what it is. And there are a lot of people that get it, and they get it. And there are people that don't get it. They're like, well, this is fiction. It's supposed to be a story, and it is. And they have that. They just tend to focus more on the stories that are being developed within the ring and what they're trying to do in the dance. That's fine. But I love. I do love what Jericho's doing. I love what the Young Bucks are doing. Which we're going to get into. I mean, that's some story right there. So speaking of story, now we have new AEW World Tag Team Champions in the Young Bucks defeating FTR. Pretty brutal match. Got bloody.
Very brutal.
Got bloody.
Especially those what was it, like a pile driver onto the ladder outside.
Yeah.
That one was and then there was something else they did right beforehand. I don't even remember at this point.
We'll get it. I'm going to go back and watch this one again. Did you happen to see like during the
it was like a flip, but he like flipped over and did a power bomb off of
it. The 0 hour. Okay, I don't know if they maybe showed it a replay or something like that, but I was having fun. Me and Daryl were like, because I started watching the 0 hour. I'm like, oh my god, you need to see this. She's like, what is that? Biggest piece of crap car. It was like a square car of some. It looked like it could be a nice car, but it was all messed, like squared up. And sure enough, it's the Young Bucks driving it, and it looks like shit. But it's like chrome, like platinum, like looks like they're trying to obviously bling it out. But the most ridiculous vehicle you have ever seen. If you watch it, you will enjoy it. You'll get a pop.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, I mean, everything that they're doing right now is pretty damn cool, and I do think they were just basically swerving everyone and trolling everyone with what they were trying to do. In this case, I think it works. It's like a there are certain levels of and certain depths that you have to that you can do to get out of the danger zone and the no heat, the bad heat zone. Like it was they were awesome as they were turning heel. And then it started to get ridiculous because it was like, well, you're bashing somebody that can't even defend themselves, and you're bashing somebody that's like, obviously having a good time in the other place. Yeah. So for you guys to be mentioning him is to just make yourselves look desperate, right? Yeah. But then going even further with it and bringing in Jack Perry and then the connection to FTR is again, it's kind of lazy and it's kind of a little unconnected. It's reaching, but now with FTR with Jack Perry, it's gotten a little bit better because it's coming back to just focusing on AEW.
Yeah, and
obviously Perry's going to be dropping names. He's obviously going to be mentioning and referencing Punk, but it's like it's going to be it's going to be a catalyst for what he's going to do with everybody else in AEW. Yeah. So
I agree.
Going to be fun.
Big win for Jack Perry, Jack Perry,
Jungle Boy Jack Perry, just Jack Perry. And the final match, AEW World Championship, Shane Strickland, Swerve Strickland versus Samoa Joe. Yes, and your boy Nana, he was coming out. He was all over this match.
Oh man, he danced his ass.
His ass off. Yeah.
He's the best. I was thinking he's the hype man. He's not even just a manager. He is the hype man.
Yep.
And he gets it going, especially with his moves. I mean, I like how he had that new kind of pre-intro thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, there with the it was fun with the Black Panther. And putting the robe over him, and and Nana wasn't acting goofy at all. But as soon as the music drops. I love it.
I gotta see that. I love it. I loved it. I mean, it's amazing how far they've taken it. I'm just like, man, I've been waiting and waiting for this guy to win, and I just did not think it was going to happen tonight because like I said, Joe is he really, it just kind of feels like he's just started being champion.
Yeah, but he's been undermined by the whole Cowboy Adam Page and now you got me second guessing
Shane Strickland. But you're right. Like Swerve and Hangman were kind of stealing the show. Yeah. I just thought maybe you just have a few more runs, but it does go to show how ready Strickland was to be champion. He was ready. He's been ready. I've been saying it. Like the guys was just the one guy that I just wanted to see when I tuned into Dynamite, since MJF left.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy a lot of different wrestlers, but it's his time. It's I didn't see anybody else that was on his level, and this shows. And now you got there are quite a few players that are obviously at his level. Now you got Ospreay. Now you got Okada. Those two guys are basically the ones that he needs to be watching out for.
Yeah, and I think it actually even helps if MJF comes back anytime soon, because now we're one person removed from Samoa Joe. MJF doesn't have a beef with Swerve, and so they can kind of keep them apart for longer. If Samoa Joe was still champion, he would come straight for him.
Right. I think that MJF comes back. He's going to go after Joe. He's going to go after Adam Cole too.
Yeah.
If Cole can get healed already, but man, I don't know when he's going to come back. And what sucks is that here's ironic because WWE wanted to keep Adam Cole as a manager, right? Which obviously probably pissed him off a little bit. And he's a great worker in the ring. He's incredible in the ring, as you know. But what's interesting now is that he is injured and he's not even doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't stress enough. The guy
not being wheeled out, but I guess he's not going to be wheeled out anymore after tonight.
Yeah, he needs to come back.
Yeah. I mean, he got up out of the wheelchair tonight, so.
Oh, he did. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So he'll be back very shortly.
Yeah. That's good. Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it looked to me like Joe was going to win this. Like first half, it just looked like it was another beatdown. It was just Joe doing his own. But then I started to notice that Swerve was kicking out of things that things that, yes, it's a big match feel. And he was kicking out. So I'm like, okay, well, that's good. They're not making it easy for Joe. But then I started to see Swerve kind of take over in the momentum and the pacing, just things that he was doing. And then when he hit that Swerve stomp, it was on point. And I was looking at it, and it was 1, 2, 3, and I was just whoa, out of nowhere.
Yep.
I did not think Joe was going to just just like that. I did not think I thought he was going to kick out.
I didn't know like what the finish would be, but I was pretty confident that Swerve was going to come into the championship.
That's great.
Kind of like how Daniel Bryan almost got pushed to be the championship just because of the crowd just being so over with him.
The guy is over. That's the thing. He's so over.
Yeah, it's like what they didn't do with LA Knight.
Right. It's exactly right, because like when you have a guy who's so damn over, you need to pull the trigger and be like, you need to get him while he's white hot.
Yeah.
And do not let him lose. You know, like you know, you push him like Austin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy was over. Okay. You don't want to put the belt on him just yet. Okay. But just keep him away from the champion.
Yeah.
Until he's ready to fight the champion and win.
I think they should put another like big guy right on him. Not like physically big, but like another big name. Like immediately. Don't even throw him any like softballs or anything. Like try to legitimize his reign as soon as possible.
You're talking about Strickland?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna have to fight somebody. I mean, it's not gonna be Danielson. But yeah, I could see it be a bunch of different people. I mean, there's so many options. I could see him fight Eddie Kingston. I could definitely see him go up against Adam Copeland.
I mean, it's probably going to be Hangman, right?
Definitely could see him go after Hangman. Yeah, I could see that with Hangman, but I don't see Hangman winning.
No,
I don't want to see him win. Hangman's going to be a total heel. Yeah. Could see him go up against all sorts of guys, just like all up and down the roster. But eventually, yeah, it's going to come back to Ospreay, Danielson, MJF. Oh, yeah. Those are the guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Moxley will come back into it.
Danielson, at some point, he's going to wrestle him. Sooner or later.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, overall, I mean, it was a fun night. I'm going to go back. I need to watch some of it again, just to really kind of get a good look at it. But it's, I wanted to, get this on paper, get it going, and yeah, it was fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to Wednesday night.
Wednesday night,
Dynamite tomorrow, definitely. I'm sorry.
It's going to be an explosion.
It's going to be. Oh yeah, it's going to definitely be an explosion. I'm looking forward to it. So, well, it's been fun. I know we're tired. I know you're tired. Thank you, Jonathan, for staying up this late.
Oh yeah.
We will reconvene and definitely talk. If we can do something as soon as Dynamite, then we shall.
Sounds good. We
shall. But until then, guys, make sure to hit that like or subscribe button for @Channel Cortez 33 and @Bad Guy Wrestling. It's been Shoots and Swerves, AEW Dynasty. Y'all have a great night. Take care. Jonathan.
Peace.
Peace.